cut. It's connected down. And it just, all of this growth is off of a willow stick. The way it was cut, just a little bit left to the system, just enough to feed it. And now it's a gnarly mess. Got to remove those willows. But you can see where this right here is straight down. And look at that dirt, how loose it is. So it just goes down. And again, you really can't see it, but there's a ridge all the way through the top of this slope. Okay, so here's another spot that really shows that edging going on. You can see actually goes up. That's Josh's knee at the top, and foot down there in the bottom of the hole. This is all happening throughout the pond, and this fence is about to go, is how bad it is. And that discharge riser, when we look down over the top of that discharge riser, you see water's just trickling through. Well, this water in the middle of the pond is about 3 feet higher than that pipe. That water is actually at our waist. Not a safe place. I tell my guys, once it gets over your ankles, it's no fun. Once it gets up over your calves, it's not safe. And once it gets over your knees, I'm coming to get you. So we've cut the trees out of that. Those cattails are going to remain. It's going to act as a filter. And then I'm highly recommending that at some point in the near future, you get an excavator in here and you clean out in front of that discharge riser. It's something we can do for you, but whether we do it or somebody else does it, it needs to be done. Here's another issue that we found on this pond. You see right in here, the base of that discharge riser, that thing was covered with vines. There's no way you could see it. Once we started cutting those vines out, we realized what we had, and there's a disjointed pipe in there. We're looking down here just above the discharge riser, top of the hill. There is a washout, and that is coming from the downspout on this house. And that washout really goes all the way down the pond. The outside of the fence, right there by the discharge riser, pipe goes through. Let's see if you can see it here. There's the pipe. That's what's called the outfall. So above this outfall pipe, really a 10-foot swath. It's 5 foot on either side of the center line. There's not supposed to be any trees growing. So if you notice trees growing on your pipe, that's a violation, but it also means a lot more work if something goes wrong with this pipe down the road. But one of the things that we've been doing here along this embankment here, that was covered in saplings, and the landscaper that went in there and did that work left the twigs up pretty high, and then the limbs, the lower limbs on those saplings just started spreading out. And it was almost like a vine. But we went in there best we could. Man, it made it a fight for the 111. Unfortunately, I had the 111 on there, and we got her done. Follows all the way back, and you see where Josh is standing. He's basically on this hillside. I can just I don't even want to walk where I'm walking. Where the truck's parked up in there. All right, so I'm standing looking down at this pipe. It's a concrete pipe that comes through follows all the way back, and you see where Josh is standing. He's basically in this area here, this whole area back in here. So where he's standing, you can see in front of him about 1.5 feet, 2 feet, about halfway between him and the weed eater there is that ground gave way, and on me it flopped through here. Let me see if I can get a I want to show you another issue in a pond. If you're a HOA president or okay, so here's a better shot of it. You can see the gapping. I mean, I'm looking down into a crack there in the earth, and again, we're standing right over that pipe. That means this pipe is disjointed. The pipe on the other side is disjointed. To move water off of the street through the property. However, when you have that much sediment, I would say that is operating at about 33%. So you see the old pipe coming through the embankment, and they concreted and tried to tie it in here, but this whole galvanized discharge riser should have been replaced as well. So now you got water coming in through there. All of this has sediment all around it. Like when they dug that out to put that in, they should have dug the outside of this out as well, so that and then actually replace this old galvanized stuff, because now you're stuck with, you got a hole here, a hole on the other side, and that's because water's not going through what has been designed for water to go through. But this is going to have to be, this riser is going to have to be replaced. The riprap apron, it's going underneath all of this that's clogged up and coming out right there, and that is taking dirt right here off to the side with it. And then here around the discharge riser, then here around the discharge riser, but we left that middle for two reasons. One is it's pretty stinking deep. We've cut a lot. We got to have some sort of buffer to keep stuff from coming up in here and making it worse around this discharge riser. But that acts as a filtration device for us.